Oh, yeah. How you feeling, Bill? How you feeling?
Great. I'm feeling pretty good, but not as good as you. You got a new car.
Oh, yeah. Got a new car. Feeling good. Got my new car. Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, if I had your car, I'd be walking on the block.
I feel good, man. I feel good overall. Everything's good. The show's going really well for us. People are loving it. They're responding in a big time way, and the sponsors are growing, and we appreciate those. And if those of you want to be a part of our show, and you want to be a proud sponsor of our show, like the great Pallet Rack City and Eddie Pereira and all the great people at Pallet Rack City or Toyota of Hollywood or Craig's Inn Acura or Hialeah Park, man, reach out to us at Orlando at thebigoshow.com or, of course, on our Twitter at Big O Show and on our accidentlawfirm.com text line. Nunez Law, great sponsor of our program, 786-322-1105. We appreciate it. That's what's going to keep us going, and that's what's going to help us give you great coverage, too, coming up for the NFL draft, too, on top of all of that. And we're excited because starting in January, we're going to be here at Toyota of Hollywood every Thursday, broadcasting live, man. How about that? That is going to be absolutely awesome every Thursday to be out here from 11 to 3 at Toyota of Hollywood, having a good old time. So if you're in the area, now you know every Thursday you can catch us right here off of 441 and come by and visit us. We will have Tim Murray at 12:45. He's going to join us. If you have any questions when it comes to a little wagering, you can send them in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line at 786-322-1105 if you want to get in there on the program. The other thing that I want to mention and I want to talk about, Armando Salguero had an article, and we kind of heard him. Remember when he asked a question the day before, yesterday, when he was asking Flores about the things that he wants Rosen to work on, but Flores was like, well, I've had that conversation with Rosen. I'm just not having it with you, and I'm not going to tell all you guys what I tell Rosen, which, of course, is a great move by a coach. You want to keep – there's a lot of things you want to keep in-house. That's definitely one of them that you want to keep in-house, right? And he wrote an article today talking about Fitz, what Fitz has, what Rosen doesn't. And a lot of it is true, right? But where the one thing, and where he describes, how Fitz and guys play hard for him, and he also wrote how in one of the press conferences where it was the Washington game, I believe, that Rosen was benched, and then they brought Fitz in, and they rallied and made it a game and all that. And that Fitz in that press conference said, the guys played hard for me. And Armando pointed out that guys don't play as hard for Rosen because Rosen is not as good a leader and all of that. And to a certain extent, I agree with Armando, just to a certain extent. I think there's another half of that he's overlooking for argument's sake and for the sake of that article. But if you want to be completely objective and talk about both sides, the reasons why you're going to play harder for Fitzpatrick if you're a player, it's because it's only human nature. You have a better shot at winning the game because Fitzpatrick is in there over Rosen. So it's just normal human nature that inside of you, you're going to be slightly more inspired. You might still be playing hard for Rosen, but you might have a little bit more of an edge for Fitzpatrick because it's just the way it is. It's normal. You're not going to get all the guys around you to rally and play at the same level if your quarterback is Matt Moore or Tom Brady. If Tom Brady's your guy, it's because you know he's won, because there's championships, there's There's Lombardi trophies that follow that guy. You know what I mean? And that's why you'll get guys to play hard. And it's Rosen. Look, I almost feel like I'm an apologist at times for the kid because I'm trying to explain how remedial he is at this point, and that's a problem. If he's not educated because they didn't educate him at UCLA, they didn't educate him at Arizona, so he gets here to the Dolphins, and they get a guy that is remedial at quarterback. And so they've got to teach him. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Where's it parked out there? All right. All right. Thank you. All right. My life track is installed and clean. Anyway, so what was I saying? Now I killed my train of thought because I was thinking about my new Camry, bro. Huh? What was I saying now? Anyway, so
we're talking about Rosen.
Yeah, no. So with Rosen, it's a lack of education that the kid hasn't been taught, and so if you're not educated, it's hard to succeed, right? I mean, that's kind of when I started in this business 30 years ago, I didn't know anything about this business. I didn't know anything about radio. Because actually, I need to separate the two, actually, because there's radio and then there's business. Okay, that's very important here. I've seen a lot of people in this career that only know how to play radio, didn't play the business, and so you learn a lot of things in this business, and you become better, just like what you do. Anything that you do. If you're a carpenter, if you're a teacher, if you're a principal, if you're a policeman, you sucked at the beginning. Compared to a year later, 10 years later, 15 years later, you look back and you go, wow, man, I was a different person then. I was completely clueless. I didn't know about this, and this. That's Josh Rosen. The guy's learning all kinds of things. So it's not something that you should completely kill him about. You know what I mean? And he needs an opportunity to kind of grow now. And I think this whole year is the opportunity that he desperately needed. I think next year, if they open up the competition with the young guy, then I think we could get the measuring stick and find out, okay, let's see what you got. You got a year of, hey, they taught you. You're a year in the system. You now need to start showing that you can take those steps forward. See, the thing where I hold out hope for Josh Rosen, what you cannot teach, ladies and gentlemen, is passing. Don't ever lose that, okay? You don't have to teach him accuracy. He's accurate. He can throw the football. But he doesn't know how to read everything yet. He doesn't know what he's seeing in front of him all the time. Now he's learning about all of that. So let's see what happens once he gets a little bit of an education. And then maybe we can make a determination. But I think it's not as simplistic as Armando made it out to be in that article, that you follow Rosen. I mean, you don't follow Rosen and you follow Fitz because that's it. He's the leader. He's the man. He knows it. He understands the players. He'll eat and hang out with them and all of that. It's because he gives them a better chance to win. That's it. And this kid doesn't have the tools yet to give the team the kind of hope that Fitz does at this moment. That's all. It's really that simple. I don't think it's as difficult or it's rocket science that you got to try to figure it out, that this is so, confusing or anything along those lines. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what it is. And, hey, listen, a lot of people feel that they've given up on the kid, and maybe they're right. Maybe they have. But I also think they have taken a step back because I've watched them do it with other players. They want to educate their players. They want to coach them up to then put them out there to see what you've learned and see if you can make some progress. I think that's what they're doing this entire year with him now. I think they realized when they put him out there, because Fitz was playing terrible, they put him out there. They saw, okay, he's not ready. We got to keep Fitz in there. He gives us a better chance. He allows us to, check everybody out and figure everything else out. So let's move on in this direction. Next year, we'll give the kid another shot. And if he's not ready, then we're done and we move on. But I think he'll get one more shot in the offseason to kind of prove that he's grown. And by the way, not just prove to the coaches, not just prove to himself, but also sell it to his teammates. Hey, I'm a different guy. Hey, I'm a better player. 3 years ago, how do you think guys felt around Devontae Parker? Yeah, he'll never get it. He's soft. He's breaking down. He can't get it done. I'm sure now they rally around Devontae Parker because they think they can win with Devontae Parker. Why? Because Devontae Parker now can stay healthy and he can go out and play. Health was killing the kid, unfortunately. Think about that. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, we take you till about 3 o'clock after Michelle Kaufman joins us for her Inter-Miami segment later on the show. We do want to remind you that the program is proudly brought to you by Choice Mortgage Bank. We love talking about Michael Kodsey and the great people at Choice Mortgage Bank. And folks, they can still get you into state rates under 3.5%. That's right. State rates under 3.5%. That is crazy, man. Do it right now. You want great service. You want somebody that is a tireless worker, okay? Kind of like me, tireless worker. That's probably why Michael Kodsey and I get along so well, because we both know how to grind, man. We are out there constantly, and that's what Michael is, fighting for you on a consistent basis. So many of our listeners, they love it, man. They call Michael Kodsey 561-441-2730, and now they're in a much better place. They're dumping those banks. They're saying no to those lazy mortgage companies, those irresponsible people out there, because they're calling Choice Mortgage Bank. And they do it all. Wholesale, conventional, residential loans, condo loans, reverse mortgages, jumbo loans, FHA, VA loans. Call them right now. State rates under 3.5%. Hey, consolidate those bills. 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. All righty, welcome back. Toyota of Hollywood. Having some fun out here. And starting in January, we will be out here every single Thursday, rocking and rolling, baby. Having some fun. Maybe we'll get a locker to leave our stuff here for every Thursday. What do you think? Oh, man, I love it. I love it. But we're going to have some fun out here. Everybody's so good. Herbie's out here. Steve. All the great people. Mike Ball. How about Mike Ball yesterday, huh? Is he a stud or what? He was amazing, teaching me all the little, because those the cars nowadays, they got so many little tricks, little extras, and all kinds of good stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. Claudio says Dolphins should draft first offensive line and defensive line. Claudio, they need offensive line, they need defensive line, but okay. You can't control any of that. You got to, when you're in the draft, you find out. Because let's say you get to the part where, okay, the tackle's good, but there's a better outside linebacker. Well, then you take the outside linebacker. And you love this defensive end. He's pretty good, but the shutdown corner is a better player. You got to take the shutdown corner. The beauty of where the Dolphins are at right now, Claudio, is that they can actually draft anywhere, and you can't – well, wait a minute, you got a surplus there. I mean, the only one that we might question would be receiver, right? Because you got Preston coming back. You like what you saw from him. Alan Hearns is a really nice possession guy. Jakeem Grant will fill that fourth role perfectly. And Devontae Parker is kind of developed into a number one. So you've got 4 guys. So if you draft another guy, I would imagine that it's a receiver that you think is extremely special and going to take you to another level. But that would be a position. Outside of that, every other position.
I'm coming up
Go
with
for
a
it.
scenario.
What's that?
One of the 3 bad killer Alabama guys slip,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Right.
And they're sitting there in the back end of the second or third round.
Right.
They should have been gone by early 2
Right.
at latest, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to grab it.
Yes.
Value for the pick.
Well, I mean, it depends on what player we're talking about. Again, it all depends on the
Right.
player and the position. You know what I mean? Because did you draft that position the round before or what? I don't know.
True.
You gotta be. You gotta be in the moment. I try to tell people this all the time, but I get it. We're in the microwave society. The fans want an answer right now. No, you've got to build it up right now. You've got to take offensive linemen and defensive linemen. And yes, in theory, you're right. But in the moment, maybe the quarterback's more important because it was better pick. Maybe the outside linebacker was better because in this defense, you want a pass rusher. You need a middle linebacker. So maybe that would be better to get that guy. You just never know. You never know. You got to be in that moment for you to decide, okay, this is the right move, this is the wrong move. That's all. Let's see. Seen the culture of this Heat team and how hard they play together. Would you trade any of these players, and who would you trade? Well, Emilio, that is a very open-ended question because you're asking me if I would trade any of these guys. Right now, no, I don't want to trade anybody. But then who am I trading them for is the question. Now, if you're going to tell me, hey, wait a minute, let me see. I'm trying to think of a young stud player that might be available on a bad team. We're just watching a Supra that's being moved right now. You know the amazing part about getting behind a Supra? Somebody that actually drives at 1 mile an hour in that Supra. Because you know you want to just floor that thing and fly. Because that thing flies. It's beautiful. There you go. See? There's a Supra. Look at that thing. Oh, it's gorgeous. Pretty awesome, isn't it? You gotta love it. That is good stuff there. You want a Supra there, Bill? You need a Supra?
I'll get
One day, buddy. One day. Down the line. We'll grow this baby up and you'll be driving to work in a Supra. I don't know. I don't know if I see you much of a sports car guy anymore. At this point.
Excuse me. Where does the equipment go?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there's a big problem with that.
Told you we're going to have a locker here with all our stuff. Oh, they're pulling in. Oh, they're pulling in a beautiful Camry is what they're doing. An SE. Yeah. That thing is nice. Red, too. That was the other color. If I didn't get my color, I was going to get red. That was the other one. But that's the SE. I have the XSE. I think that's what it is. That's the only difference. And it looks exactly like mine. I don't even know what the difference is, actually. From ESE to XSE. Oh, no, I can see already the seats are different. Oh, yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. That car is beautiful right there. That's a really nice car.
No, the cameras they are the lines on those cars, the shape, the exhaust, everything, the air dams,
Yeah,
and where they're located.
Yep.
It's a bad car.
no doubt. So come get one over here at Toyota of Hollywood and tell them that we sent you. They will definitely take care of you. But anyway, so Emilio, you got to be more specific on a trade and what players. Would I trade Dion Waiters? Hell yeah. I'll trade him for a 6-pack of Schaefer right now. They're not like you're going to get any kind of player for Dion. You're not even going to get a pick. In fact, somebody in the NBA might call you and say, hey, we'll offer you a 3rd rounder for Dion. And then you're going to go, well, wait a minute, the draft's only 2 rounds. And you're going to go, yeah, exactly. That's what we're trying to tell you. We're not going to give you jack for the guy. That's all. Oh, look at that. They're moving the super out. Well, they probably sold it. That's probably what it is. Oh, no, he's just putting it in another spot. That's all. You know, if you floor, you're going to leave like stains all over the tile. Oh, man. If you haven't seen one of these Supras, these things are awesome. Like a freaking rocket. I'm telling you. Big time. All right, we will have Tim Murray. He's going to join us now, actually. We're going to get in contact now with Tim Murray from NBC Sports and the Daily Line. So we'll get in contact with him. We'll get his thoughts. You know, I wonder as I haven't really wagered on the Heat. So I'm wondering what kind of a team has the Heat been against the spread? Because I don't really like to bet, definitely not against, but even for my teams, it's one of those things that kind of gets me in trouble. You know what I mean? So I kind of stay away from it. So I don't even touch the hometown lines. I haven't even thought about it that as in the season in its entirety, I wonder how the Heat have been as a point spread team. I mean, early on, they must have been great as a dog. Obviously, now Vegas is probably smartened up a little bit. One guy's asking me, would you keep the Heat roster intact until next year, except for JJ and Waiters? Yes, I would. Yeah, unless there's a monster change. That's the only way that I would do it. That's it. Do we have them? Are we ready to go?
We have Tim Murray for you, sir.
I love it. Tim Murray from the Daily Line on NBC Sports. You can follow him on Twitter at @1TimMurray. And, of course, this handicapping segment, it is your sports investment segment, and it's brought to you by Hialeah Park Casino. Go to HialeahParkCasino.com so you can get in the winning. All right, let's bring him aboard. Tim, how you doing, my brother? All right, so let me ask you, because Tim, I'm not one of those guys that likes to bet on my teams. I never bet against them, but I never like to bet with them because it's just too emotional, so I stay away from it. So I'm wondering, I haven't even thought about this until you came on now, is what is the Heat as a betting team this year? How have you enjoyed them, or have they screwed you over? How's it been? Did they surprise you early in the season, and now you know who they are? Walk us through the Heat as an investment.
They're the best team right now in the league in covering the numbers. So when you look at everyone, the Miami Heat, they are 18-9-1 against the spread, and when they're at home, they're 10-2. So, and that's just, outright we know that the Heat have been killing it at home. They're 11-1 at home on the year. But they're 10-2 in covering at home. So the Heat have been the best team in the league in covering the numbers so far. So not only are they having an exceptional season at 20-8, but look, you look at teams like the Lakers or the Bucks. I know they played tonight. Both of them have done fine against the spread, but those teams are maybe a little bit overinflated usually, especially a LeBron-led team like the Lakers, even though you look at they're doing okay against the spread this year. But the Heat right now are the number one team in covering the number at 18-9-1.
Wow, that's a great stat. That's why I was wondering. And is that because the wise guys haven't caught up to them, or is it because people are really believing in them? Which one is it?
Usually country, they did really well against the number, especially Ohio State and actually Clemson too towards the end, where handicappers, the guys out in the desert and wherever, New Jersey, et cetera, they just felt like we can't keep pushing this number up, and you would see these big teams get overinflated, but they would still just continue to cover the number. My hunch on the Heat would be that, I think people expect them to be good, but you're still, when you think about the Eastern Conference entering this year, it was mainly the Bucks, the Sixers, the Celtics. Even though the Celtics lost Kyrie, people thought, okay, the Celtics still had a pretty high number when it came to season wins. I think the Heat have exceeded expectations, and that initial power rating, whatever it may have been for the guys out in the desert, maybe hasn't corrected enough. When you have an emergence like a guy like Bam playing the way that he is, that probably hasn't been factored in. Ultimately, it usually evens out, and you're not going to see a team just continue to cover at an insane rate. It usually kind of regresses to the mean. But as of right now, no pun intended, ride the heater as that is the Heat, because they've been covered, especially at home.
Tim Murray, baby, from the Daily Line on NBC Sports. You can follow him on Twitter at @1TimMurray. All right, so you mentioned college football. Where are you with Clemson? Because Dabo came out with a great rant the other day on, his whole Rodney Dangerfield, we get no respect and we play nobody. But we know what Trevor Lawrence is. So you tell me, Ohio State's one of those teams that we've overrated a lot of times over the years here, and they fall short. How does this game look to you? Just Clemson is favored by 2 right now. Early line here, and over and under 63.5.
I've been on Clemson for a while, and it's not anything earth-shattering. They're just so much better than what the ACC is, and there was that moment at the end of September where Clemson almost lost to USC. USC goes for a 2-point conversion, and then everybody started to freak out and say, "Oh my God, Clemson's not that good," and then they went out and just destroyed everyone in their path. Now, we know the ACC's down this year, very down.
Yes.
Look at what Clemson did after that USC game. By the way, people talk about it like it happened in the end of October. It happened at the end of September. After the close call with UNC, it was a 31-point win over Florida State, 35 over Louisville, the Bull team, 52 over Boston College, 45 over NC State, 49 over Wake Forest, 35 over South Carolina, and then they beat UVA in the ACC championship, 62-17. So they've just been on a path to sneak and destroy. And I'm kind of with you, where I roll my eyes at what Dabo says, Clemson here, and it does get tired to us, and we can make fun of it, but I think it works for his players.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
You look at the way Trevor Lawrence has been playing, these last couple of weeks, and he's been out of this world. And they lost a lot of defensive talent last year, but they didn't really lose any offensive talent. Travis Etienne is back and is running, over 8 yards per clip. You look at the top receivers in T. Higgins and Justin Ross. Both are exceptional athletes. So I might be higher on Clemson than both. I think all three, removing Oklahoma from the conversation, I think the top 3 is kind of a flip a coin. But if you had to say you had to pick one, and I did a couple weeks ago when I played a 2-1 future on Clemson, I like Clemson. I think this Clemson team has somehow, some way, for a 13-0 defending champs, gone under the radar enough that I really like Clemson. And look, the Wise guys tend to like him too, because at the Westgate Superbook, Ohio State opened as a short favorite, and that quickly ran to 2.5 for Clemson.
All right, LSU favored by 14 against Oklahoma and their suspended players. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the suspended players may be a little too much of a we like to find, they got suspended players, so we got to bet LSU. I feel like if people are trying to find a reason to lay that many points, you can lay points with LSU. Play it with LSU. Forget about the suspended players, because they really aren't going to factor that much into this game. I think one guy was the situational pass rusher, man, like 6 or 7 sacks for Oklahoma, but Jalen Hurts is still playing in this game. All of the big boys on offense. CeeDee Lamb is worry if you want to lay the lumber with LSU is this. Last year, we saw Alabama jump out to a 21-0 lead over Oklahoma in the first quarter. And what happened? You got the backdoor cover from Oklahoma. They ended up losing by 11. So I think the best plan of attack right now would be to, you can think about the over. That's a ton of points there at 76. I would lean over. There's actually people playing the under. They think it's too many points, but I think this is going to be a shootout. And if you like in-game betting, I'm not the biggest in-game better, especially when we're talking about all of this. If you want to lay the lumber now, but I would look at an early line in that game because I anticipate LSU to come out and just start trying to light up the scoreboard. And then you have to remember, this is not the final game for the winner. So if LSU's up big, are they going to want to continue to hammer it home, or are they want to take their foot off the gas a little bit because they know in 2 weeks they're going to be playing for the national championship? So I think when we get to 14, I would think hard about Oklahoma just because that backdoor capability from a really talented offense is there.
Do you like the over in this game? It's 76. I know. That's when you said explosive offense, I go, okay, he's going to like my next question. Because that's the one that when I look at this game, I'm like, I know it's 76, but dude, I think I know LSU is going to light up Oklahoma because nobody plays defense in that entire conference. And again, Oklahoma's got a damn good offense. I figured they're going to put some points on. I like the over in this one, dude.
I think the casual bettor is going to look at the Big 12 championship and say, well, Oklahoma can't score. They didn't score the Big 12 championship.
Right.
Baylor has the best defense in the Big 12.
Right.
And Georgia has one of the best defenses in the country, and that really didn't slow down LSU all that much. So I just feel like you're going to get and remember, this is going to be indoors. It's going to be in Atlanta, so there's no potential of weather. It's going to be 72 and no wind.
And Timmy, one more thing. The LSU defense has not been as dominant lately either.
No, it hasn't.
So
I feel like they came out against Georgia and they wanted to prove a point. But this is going to be a game where, and you know what? Think about it this way. Let's be honest. Who wants to sit back on December 28th, want to kick your feet up with your boys, you're watching this game, you're like, you know what, I really hope there's no. So I think just for entertainment purposes, it's going to be more fun to put a little cash on the over this week.
follow him on Twitter, by the way, at @1TimMurray and catch the Daily Line on NBC Sports. All right, so Bills, Pats. Brady has not looked the same. The offense doesn't look like much. The Bills' defense is pretty decent. Pats are favored by 6.5. How do you feel about that Saturday matchup?
Let's go check on this car. Maybe you can. No, I know the car. It's right there. Hey, what's this? It's a live show?
All right, Dolphins and Bengals, baby. That's going to be a sizzler between the two teams fighting for bad picks here. So what do you think, Tim? What happens here? It's picking, and the over and under is 46 points in this game. What happens? I figured I'd mess with you by giving you that last game there, because obviously, I mean, right. Right. I think they're going to actually win the game, but I got to be honest with you, Tim, all right? Just to be objective about all of this, okay? You're sitting somewhere in Chicago or in Texas, and you're betting on Dolphins and Bengals. I really think you need help already at this point. I really think you got to go to Gamblers Anonymous at this point. Because, I mean, seriously, dude, there's got to be a roach race somewhere in the house that's going to be a lot more entertaining than Cincinnati and Miami, right? I mean, you could find two roaches, put some money on there, and it'll be at least, more intriguing than that game. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yes. No, I'm with you. You're just so much better. Go to a strip club, get a friction dance. At least there you go. You get some excitement out of it. You get a little thrill and something you won't get from that game. So I'm with you all the way there. No doubt about it. Follow my man Tim Murray on Twitter at @1TimMurray. Catch the Daily Line on NBC Sports. Tim, thank you for taking some time, my man. I look forward to doing it again. You got it. Appreciate it. There you go. Tim Murray. Good stuff there. Dougie Fresh, I know. I'm sorry. We've been having some snafu with our camera and all that, and we tried to rig it today where you could hear the interviews because the last couple of days we've had trouble with the Mevo thing. So we gotta fix that whole issue. Hopefully it'll be fixed by tomorrow because I'm getting really tired of all of this already. So we will fix it. I'm sorry. And when we have Michelle on later on, you will not be able to hear her either. I tried to put the speaker there or the headphone there on the thing, but it apparently, I think it was Jay that said it was really hard to hear him. So I took it off. I figured it wasn't helping you guys to hear the interview. So I am sorry about that. But you can catch that interview on the podcast so you can hear the whole thing. Okay, because that's kind of what it's all about. I just wish we could have fixed this thing, and we're dying to get through this issue here. Hopefully, in the next day, we'll. In other words, tomorrow at Hialeah Park, hopefully everything's fixed, and we're on YouTube, and we can move on and rock and roll with you all out there. All right, let's take a break. We're at the top of the hour. Michelle Kaufman will join us at 2:00. We will take your questions out there. If you want to send them in on the chat board, you can do that. You want to send them in on Twitter at Big O Show, on the accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, that was our investment segment brought to you by Hialeah Park Casino. Go to hialeahparkcasino.com. We will be there tomorrow, rocking and rolling and having some fun and having a good old time like we always do there. Let me tell you a little bit about Pallet Rack City, because everybody loves a great rack, right? I mean, don't you love a great rack? When you walk in, don't you want to see a great rack? So when you go to the warehouse, you want to see everything organized. That's why you want to call Pallet Rack City, folks. They are your one-stop shop for all of your warehouse needs. If you're a business owner right now, your warehouse needs some organizing. Hey, they buy and sell new and used pallet racking. They have the largest used racking inventory in South Florida, man. They've got, I mean, it's warehouse after warehouse after warehouse. Go see Eddie Pereira and all the great people out there at Pallet Rack City. They also sell used forklifts and dock equipment, and they specialize in knockdown and installations of your warehouse equipment. And they also sell pallet jacks, hand trucks, dock boards, and most packaging supplies. That's why you want to call Eddie at 305-887-9212. That's 305-887-9212 for Pallet Rack City. Rocking and rolling here. Coming to you live, baby, from, of course, Toyota of Hollywood. We do it every once a month here, every Thursday. But this is the last time we do it once a month, because starting in January, every Thursday right here at Toyota of Hollywood. So you can catch us every Thursday now here at Toyota of Hollywood starting in January. So we'll be having some fun out here every Thursday. You know, I gotta maybe I get a little Subways on the way home there, since they got the Subways in house. Get a little sandwich on the way home. I think that sounds like a little bit of a plan. They got what else do they have here? They have the Subways, and then they got that pizza joint, right? What's the name of that pizza joint that's here?
The Italian place.
Okay, nice.
Well, it is. It's not just pizza, man. Hold on.
Well, it's they do have it's. I mean, this place is ginormous. So they have so many people here that they've got to have like places to eat. So they've got a couple of spots, and they've got some Italian place here where they sell some pizza. Yeah, and so I don't know the name of it because I've never even heard of the place. But obviously, Subway's is the one that's the popular one.
That would be a DeLuca's.
That's what it's called, DeLuca's. All right, there you go. First time I've ever seen a DeLuca's.
It's not bad. It's good.
Okay, yeah, all right. Dougie Fresh says, "You are good. I'm still watching and listening. I appreciate that, Dougie. Thank you very much. We're sorry about the stuff with the interviews the last couple of days. Trust me, and nobody's more frustrated than I am with all this stuff going on and Meebo causing a mess for us. So we had to kind of adjust to all of this, and we've been able to do it at least. And so we appreciate those of you that have been hanging in there with us. So we've got Star Wars today, The Rise of Skywalker. I don't know how many of you are going to go see it. Don't tell me a damn thing about it because I don't want to find out. I'm going to see if maybe I go this weekend, go in the afternoon somewhere. I'm off on Saturday and Sundays now. I'm just watching games and stuff like that. Although I don't know, do I work this weekend? I'm serious. I know I work today, but I don't know when I work again. I know I work multiple times this month. Oh yeah, I don't work again till the 23rd. So that won't be till what? That's like Tuesday, right? Is that the 23rd, right? Something like that. So yeah, that's today. I don't work till the 23rd. Okay, so over the weekend, I got to go see Rise of Skywalker. I could go tonight, but that would be then I'm like a zombie tomorrow at Hialeah Park. But anyway, I'm kind of a zombie today as it is with the day I had yesterday. With the Rise of Skywalker, the one thing that it reminds me of, and it's when we talk about movie franchises And I was thinking about this, and I'm sure a lot of you that are my age or older, you've thought about this. This thing started in the 70s, man. And it's still going, and it's going like strong, big time. And I'm thinking of the Rise of Skywalker now, right? And I start thinking about the lines back in the 70s and early 80s when I was a kid, when these movies would come out. I remember when the first one came out, I know I saw it in Miracle Theater on Coral Way. And I remember the line was wrapping around the block for that. And I remember, I think Empire Strikes Back, I might have seen it in Dadeland. Okay. And it was also a big ass line also to get into it. And now you don't even get that anymore because now you get to order your tickets. We've got assigned seating, all of those things. But I'm thinking about this. Is there another movie franchise that's had this kind of an impact? Maybe Harry Potter to a generation, but Star Wars is multiple generations. And the generation you hit that was a child, like myself, in the mid-70s, that I'm a kid, you have carried me all the way now to my 50s. And I'm still watching. And I'm still a fan, and I'm still buying stuff that's, you know, Star Wars related and things like that. Our country has never had a connection to a movie franchise like this. There have been some other great ones, a lot of great ones, right? That have transitioned like this from generation to generation to generation. Man, it does not exist. That's kind of been really, really cool about all of this. Because watching the Rise of Skywalker, it's amazing that you're approaching 50 years of a franchise that has been front and center in every part of our society, whether it's on TV, movies, games, whatever, social media, pop culture, you name it, it's been a part. You go to an arcade and you'll see a Star Wars, you know, pinball machine or something. It's just been a part of everything of our society. Amusement parks have Star Wars rides and all that stuff. I mean, it's just everybody wants to be associated with that franchise. And it doesn't matter if you're Burger King or McDonald's or whatever. It's just really is amazing how they've been able to just connect with so many different people over the years. Pretty cool. So that's one of the things that I was thinking about when I was watching Rise of Skywalker. It's like, man, I'm 53, and since I was a child. Okay, because when the first one came out, is it 77 or 76?
It was supposed to come out in 76. It actually was released, I think it was May
77?
Yeah.
Okay, so
it was supposed to be out in 76, but it was May 77.
So I was 11 years old when the first one came out. And now from 11 to 53, 42 years later, I'm still just as giddy about it as I was then, just excited about it as I was then. And, you know, whether the reviews are good or not, listen, whatever. I'll check it out myself, and then I'll figure it out. I know that some of the reviews haven't been there so far. I have not seen one that says this is the best ever. This is one of the best. This is great. It's been not that good. We'll see. I'll check it out. But I am looking forward to it. Won't see it tonight, but I will see it over the. Do you plan on seeing it over the weekend?
No, I'm usually the guy that waits 2 or 3 weeks and there's nobody there.
Right.
I go at like 11 or 12 at night, and I'm, you know, like.
I'm thinking of going. You think it'll be packed on Saturday afternoon? Early?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the first weekend, right? Yeah, you're probably right.
This thing's going to be packed for the first 2 or 3 weeks. I may have to wait a month.
But usually you can sneak in on a early afternoon and get, you know, see some of these movies. But the Star Wars thing is such a fanatical thing that maybe you're right. Maybe this whole, maybe the first couple of weekends it'll still be crazy right from the first showing to the last one.
remember, this is also the last one. So, you know.
You believe that?
Oh, no.
There'll be
This is the
spin-offs.
last of the series.
Yes,
This, like, finishes the book.
but they'll continue. They got it.
Like I said, if they ever do, from the time that Darth Vader is Darth Vader till 18 in the New Hope, I want to see Darth Vader kicking everybody's butt.
Oh, how he
and
became
taking
Darth Vader.
names. No. Right when he comes out, Padme, she can't. I would no. I want to see from there to when we hook up with Luke and Leia in New Hope. I want
Okay.
to see the evil empire, my guy, Darth
Well,
Vader,
you
kicking
saw-
everybody's butt.
Well, Rogue One was right before New Hope.
It is right, yes.
'Cause that's how they get
Literally,
the-
it's a
the
pass, a
plans.
handoff. The
That's
best
how-
scene
right.
ever, in my opinion, Star Wars. That scene of Darth
That-
Vader
that-
and that down that
yeah.
wall.
That Rogue
Oh.
Rogue One was really, really good. I really enjoyed that one.
To me,
Yeah.
obviously being Darth Vader, lover, Empire 1 and Rogue 1 is number 2.
Yeah.
As far as that I was really impressed with Rogue.
Ian in Brooklyn, he says it's a work in progress. We understand. Yes and no. Okay, because it's not us. That's the thing. It's all Mevo that's created this mess. So it's either that or we've got to figure out maybe a better camera system than Mevo. That's all. Maybe we just got to bump Mevo, because if it's going to screw us over like this for a couple of days, I am not happy, because I can't have this happen again. No way. I get it when there's no internet and the internet's weak and that kind of stuff. That's out of our control, out of anybody's control. But that's not the case. This is some technical snafu, Ian. So yeah, it's a mission. Unfortunately, I wish it didn't look like it was a work in progress, because it has nothing to do with that. Unfortunately, because it's not us. If it was us, we'd be fine. We'd be back on. We would have never been off, actually, which is really the key. The Jags, they fired Tom Coughlin. And this has got – that had to have been a hard situation for Shad Khan, the owner. The right thing to do, don't get me wrong. And it's – in a way, the Jags kind of remind me of us as Dolphins. And we live in this proverbial, fishbowl, as they say, of the past. We're constantly reliving the undefeated teams. Like, they're going to be celebrating them this weekend in the Cincinnati game. And it's great to celebrate them and Shula and their accomplishments and all of that. But the sad part is, as an organization, we kind of live in the past. And that happens to a lot of people, happens to businesses, it happens to teams, that they're trying to recapture that magic. And Washington once brought back Joe Gibbs. And I think he even made the playoffs that first year or second year with Washington, which was a miracle under Dan Snyder. But eventually it wasn't the same than what they were used to with Joe Gibbs, because Joe Gibbs was obviously one of the greatest coaches of all time in NFL history. And as I've told you before, I think Joe Gibbs has the greatest accomplishment in NFL history, 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks. That tells me you are an incredible head coach when you can do that. And not one of them really a Hall of Famer, which is pretty amazing. But Jags bringing back Tom Coughlin is living in the past. And look, the Rams went back into the past when they brought back Dick Vermeil. Now, it wasn't their past, that was the Eagles' past. But they were hoping that they could capture some of the magic that he had from the Eagles. And eventually, it was even more than that. It ended up being a title. But more often than not, when you live in the past and you are the Dolphins and you're constantly talking about, the undefeated season or the Marino years, because it's all we have, it's hard to build that future. And the Jags thought that they could build the future by recapturing the past of the 90s with Tom Coughlin. And that Tom Coughlin in that era ran its course. And they brought him back now, and he thought he could also bring back the way he did things. And I'm sure a lot of you got to see the article on the NFLPA that was warning players about going to Jacksonville, that to stay away from Jacksonville because of all the fines. And they fined one player, I think it was Dante Fowler. They fined him up to $700,000 for what they call was mandatory treatments that weren't mandatory. And so Tom Coughlin had his regular, hard-ass ways. So the NFLPA says you as players may want to consider this when you have a chance to select your next club. They said, and the NFLPA wrote this. It said, on Monday, the NFLPA levied the latest salvo in what's been yet another season to forget, revealing that an arbiter ruled that the franchise had improperly required players to rehab off-season injuries at the team's facility and fined players who didn't. Such off-season appointments are strictly voluntary with limited exceptions under the NFL collective bargaining agreement. The NFLPA is now taking the extraordinary steps of advising players to be wary of signing with the Jags, considering that more than 25% of the total grievances filed by the NFL players over the past 2 years were against that one team. U.S. players may want to consider this when you have a chance to select your next club, the union wrote to players. One player alone was fined 25 times more than $700,000 for missing rehab appointments. The NFLPA said in the letter, through the union, it didn't name the player, Dante Fowler Jr. Now the Rams, after midseason trade in 2018, seem to suggest on Twitter that it was him. So they put it on Twitter, whatever. So Coughlin has been the executive in charge during all of this. And I think Shad Khan at first probably didn't want to make the changes, didn't want to have to fire the guy that brought so much great history to the franchise back in the 90s when they made the AFC Championship game, when actually the Jags were that was a heck of a team, man. That team was loaded. Hardy and all those guys, that was a badass team in Jacksonville. And it's one of those things that you don't want to do, but I got to commend Shad Khan here because it had to have been tough that you're going to crap on the past in a way by firing the guy, but you had to do it. His time came and went. And apparently there were some reports that he was going to step down anyways. But Shad Khan didn't want to wait for that and said, you know what, and after you find out about this from the NFLPA, you got to do something, man. Because all of a sudden now you're sending messages to NFL players, you don't want to go there. And remember, you're Jacksonville, okay? And I know we kind of took a shot at Cleveland's, nightlife yesterday. Well, I'll take a shot also at Jacksonville. Been to both places, okay? Not a place that you're really going to be bragging and hanging out about their nightlife. I mean, nightlife and Jacksonville is kind of an oxymoron. Nightlife and Cleveland, kind of an oxymoron. Nice towns, great people, all that good stuff. But when it comes to sexy town, no. Not at all. And so if you're Jacksonville and you're not a sexy destination as it is, you don't want this. As the youngins would say, you don't want that smoke.
There's some cuties, though.
People are great.
Some real.
No, people are. I've been to Jacksonville several times, dude.
Last time
people are super cool.
Rough.
No, super cool.
Yeah.
No, I've always had a good time when I go to Jacksonville. People are really nice. All of that. I have no problem with Jacksonville. But it's not the nightlife place, dude.
It doesn't compare to
No, it doesn't compare to here or New York or Chicago or LA or San Francisco or Atlanta or Houston or Dallas or, major cities.
Nonetheless, when we were there the last time, a lot of eye candy. A lot of little cuties.
All right. Good. Nice that you noticed the cuties, and the people are really nice people. I've been there several times. I got no problem with Jacksonville. But for NFL players, for NBA players, for people like that, of that ilk, that have, money, and because of that disposable income, they want to enjoy life, this is not the destination you really pick. If you're picking Jacksonville, it's because they've got a great team. You want to win, and you're sacrificing because you're going to live there for a few months, and then you're going to go back to your regular hometown, wherever it is. But if you don't have a great team, and you're being jerks with the players, and your town isn't necessarily a sexy... See, like Miami was the reverse. People were coming to play for the Dolphins, but not because they wanted to win. They knew the team sucked. They came because it's a great city and no tax state. So you had the bang bang. Oh, I can enjoy South Beach. I can enjoy Las Olas. I can enjoy the Keys. I can enjoy boating. I can have a great time in South Florida. Yeah, I know the team sucks, but who cares? I'm getting paid. And it's a no tax state. Great. It's the reverse than Cleveland in Miami. That's, the Heat, no. The Heat is great city, great organization, great owner. I got the whole combination. And that's what you're trying to achieve. But in Jacksonville, you'll never achieve great city because those young guys that got money, they'll never look at that as a sexy. Look at the NBA. The NBA free agency, it's mostly the big cities that are scoring. Why? Because those players, they want to play in cities that are sexy, man. It's what it is. So if you're going to suck, at least be sexy. Well, Jacksonville is not going to be sexy. You cannot be a jerk either with your players. That's not going to fly. There's no way that would end up working out. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program. That's 786-322-1105 on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. As we take you till about 2:30, 3 o'clock after we talk to Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald and get the latest on Inter Miami. Still no coach. And I think we're still awaiting officially on everything else for the international players. And I know they've got several players signed, but we're also waiting everything else too, right? So we'll see what happens there. And we'll talk to Michelle about that and a couple of other things Inter Miami related. Dougie Fresh says, I saw the woman who plays Ray in an interview, and she is smoking. The force is strong with that one. I got to tell you something. Yeah, she is really pretty. I've never seen her with her hair down. I wonder how she looks because it's always picked up, and she looks good even with her hair picked up. I would imagine with her hair down, she must look really good. But here's what I'll say about this. Forget about the attractive part about it. I like her character. She has developed into one of my favorite characters in the entire Star Wars series. Han Solo will always be my guy. That's like my favorite character of them all in Star Wars. But I will say Rey has grown a lot. I really like her, and they did a great job of casting her because she has developed into this role and fits like a glove. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, she is a pretty girl. I will give you that. No doubt about that. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the show, we do want to remind you tomorrow we're going to be at Hialeah Park, and the National Horse Players Championship is coming to Hialeah Park, January 12th on a Sunday. Bill and I, by the way, are going to be broadcasting out there on that Sunday for a couple of hours. We're going to be doing it out there while you guys are wagering. And if you want to be a part of it, amen, $10,000 will be awarded on site. $5,000 for first place, $2,500 for second place, $1,500 for third. Fourth place gets $1,000, and the grand prize, you get one NHC seat in Las Vegas for the finals on February 7th through the 9th, and that'll be at Bally's. That'll all happen at Hialeah Park. Go to the website, hialeahparkcasino.com.